Last week was busy.
Okay, I do believe we are live streaming.
Thank you very much. Well, hello, good evening and welcome to Weymouth Town Council Planning and Licensing. For any members of the public, good evening. We'll go straight into item 1, which is apologies for absence. The only apology we received is for Alex and Councillor Hope substitute.
Yeah, that's correct.
So I'll propose that. Do I have a seconder in Councillor Orell? All those in favour? Thank you very much. Straight into item 2, which is declarations of interest. Have we got any declarations of interest regarding any of the items on the agenda tonight?
No.
And if you should come across it as we're talking about it, and you can by all means raise it then. We can now move on to item 3, which is the minutes of the last meeting, which have all been circulated. We've all had a chance to have a read. I would propose that we agree the minutes of the last meeting held on the 5th of November 2024 as a true and accurate record, and they be signed as such. I'll propose, seconded by Councillor Dickens. All those in favour? Unanimous again. We can go into item 4, which is public participation. We have one member of the public here, Mr. Bennett, who's come, and I'm going to ask that we bring item 12 into this item 4 now, if that's okay with everybody. So over to you, Mr. Bennett.
Okay.
If you'd like to come round to the front, I think it'd be easier.
Bring on. Photographs.
Good evening, thanks for allowing me to come and for the process that's taken place. I'm the CEO of the Waterside Group. We have a minor problem. I appreciate in the scheme of things, it is fairly minor. There is 75 metres of road in front of the park, which has no parking restriction at all. We appreciate that needs to be available for parking. But in our opinion, it would be better if that followed the same restriction as the main part of Bowleys Cove Road, which would be restricted parking from 10 PM until 6 AM. That's been introduced and changed last year very successfully. It was midnight until 6 AM. It's now 10 PM. And that has restricted what is the latest craze of free overnight camping. The area in front of the park where we do have caravans to let is now heavily used by overnight camping. They tend to circulate the availability of free overnight camping on their apps and certain things, and we've seen a massive increase. Causes quite significant disruption. The type of free campers that it attracts litter the area and sadly soil the area with where some of the campers don't have toilet facilities. We've had guests asked to be moved from that area of the park. We've had people leave. And we of course have no jurisdiction, as we don't anywhere on the high street, but we don't even have the ability for security to say you can't park overnight. We would just ask that it were brought in line with the sensible parking restriction that exists on the rest of Bowleys Cove. It will be available right up till 10 PM. And the area is really popular. We're a massive advocate of the area, and we think we're a huge contributor both in terms of costs, rates, but also in employment and what we contribute to the area. We bus people off the park, believe it or not, to the local town. We appreciate people don't just want to stay on park, but they do want to go into town. So we're all for the town. I schooled here and I was brought up here. So we're a big supporter of the town in every way possible. So just hopefully a slight tweak if it can be supported by yourselves and Highways and Dorset Council. It's 75 metres in length.
Oh, does any members have any questions for Mr. Bennett?
It's quite reasonable.
Yeah, well, it's fully supported by myself, Joe Dickinson and Steve.
Yeah.
Because it really has helped. The reason that it was changed from 10 o'clock, from 12 o'clock to 10 o'clock was a request because they couldn't police it because they finished work, so nobody could police it. Now they finish work at 10:30, they pop up and they tap on the windscreens and say, move on.
Yeah, Marion Fisher's been fantastic at that, to be fair. It's been a revolution, the change. And it would help massively if that area also just had that simple. The shop delivery van, because of where they park, he can't reverse into the shop. He then has to park on the pavement. It then restricts the residents getting out from the top of Bowleys. There are a few issues it causes.
Absolutely sympathetic, and I'm very happy to go forward with this. Is there any suggestion of where the traffic camping might get pushed to? Are we creating another problem for someone else as resolving this one?
I think there are plenty of campsites in the area. We're not looking to push them off the road into us. We don't offer a camping as such. But there are numerous camping sites in Weymouth. Lots of them.
Can you use the campsite at the back of Joy's? With the car park?
Well, if they want to pay for it, but there's no hookup. Yeah,
Well,
but they could
road,
pay,
isn't it?
they could pay. Councillor Hope.
Yeah, thank you very much. I support this. Anything we can do, in this instance is to support a local business, which offers local employment and tourism into the town, which supports our local economy. My concern is, as much as Councillor Clifford, if we restrict this area here, which if I'm right in thinking, knowing Bowleys quite well, is almost just past the Fantasy Island up to the gate of Waterside. Is that right where it is on the map?
There are two pillars as you just passed John Davenport's, and then up the 75 metres from those pillars go to almost the entrance of the park.
So it's where I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Are we not going to then push this 100 foot up the road to where the residential properties are?
Double yellow lines.
There's already double yellow line.
Yeah, and I don't think you will because of the slope. They like to park on a semi-level, even though they probably have little ramps that they go up. They're only small. Anywhere on the Bowleys Hill going down and further up, they won't park because they'll be sleeping.
There is keep clear signs up there, isn't there? Further up.
Yeah, I mean, the new restriction has just been a revolution. It's worked a treat. And I appreciate we perhaps in the town want to offer free camping. I think that maybe should be thought about separately because there are just no facilities down there for them to use, no toilets, nothing at all.
I think on that point that Dorset Council do have overnight parking spaces for motorhomes in some of their car parks. My only sort of concern on this one here is I'm happy to support it, but what this will do is this will go, we are only obviously going to be supporting an application into Dorset Council. And that will now sit in Dorset Council's very long list of schemes to be delivered.
Totally appreciate that.
Obviously, whilst they look for funding with a minimal budget, I say that makes the finance holder. And again, I'm just wondering whether or not it may be an option where local residents pay for similar sort of restrictions with white lines, whether or not, if we do support this tonight, then maybe you contact Dorset Council to see if there was contribution, maybe whether it could fast track the process to support the business.
I didn't know that was available, but yeah, that would be open to that, definitely.
So I'll propose it that we support this application. Councillor Young seconds. All those in favour? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you, David, and good luck.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks. Now move on to item 5, which is planning applications for discussion. And the first one we have is 34 St Thomas Street.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, these are the ones that came in shortly after we discussed. So
Yeah.
it's up to members to decide whether
Yeah.
they wish to discuss.
Can we discuss St Thomas Street?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's both parts. We taking both parts together, the
So-
LBC and the.
So it has two because it's conservation area, but it's the
Yeah.
same thing. The document to look at
Just,
is proposed, plans as proposed Rev C.
okay, just bear with me. This is the full application.
Scroll down. If, I don't show very well, does it?
Doesn't show very well. Let's see if I can zoom in at all. It's quite faint, isn't it?
Yes, it's faint, isn't it?
It's a very sort of fine sketch, so. Yeah,
Up.
up or down?
Uh, Yeah, you can't see the walls. You might see these are on your own computers. What we got here is a kitchen diner in the middle with bedrooms coming off it. Which is kind of all right, which is okay as long as they've got decent fire doors. Nothing between, that's the only difference between the kitchen and the bedroom. So good decent fire doors, that's the first thing to say. Make sure you've got really good fire doors. The problem is the layer above it. So there's a single staircase up from the kitchen. There's the kitchen diner, there's the staircase, is up there, there's the landing, then they've got a load more bedrooms up there. It looks like the only way out for these guys in the top bedrooms would be down that staircase, which takes you past the diner. So the worry is, do we need a separate escape route from this upper level? Otherwise, the only escape route is past the kitchen. And if the kitchen's on fire, you're stuck. So the two suggestions, and one, making sure we got decent fire, which I imagine they would have. But the more importantly, is there a separate escape route for the people on the top bedrooms?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether to object on those grounds or put in a conditional approval for they can address the fire.
Councillor.
Chair, I fully appreciate that this concerns of safety is on Councillor Rail's mind. But fire evacuation planning isn't a material planning condition that we could object to the application on. Obviously, it's a requirement of the building regulations to review that and make sure that there's safe application in place, but I don't think we as a committee could object to a planning application based on that concern.
In that case, could we flag it up as a concern, but not object? So I propose we accept the plan then, but flag up as an issue the fire doors and escape plan for the second floor needs to be addressed. Seems reasonable.
Maybe use the word subject to.
Subject to the assessment.
Yeah, I think the words to strengthen it, Councillor Rail, what we need is to make sure that fire exits comply to the building regulations and regulatory reform by safety order 2005. Okay.
Hang on.
Building
Fire exits conform to
Building regulations and regulatory reform brackets
building
fire
regs
safety
and regulatory
reform brackets fire safety order 2005.
So when I come to submit our comments, I think I can select conditional response.
Yes.
So, okay. So the conditional response, stating that fire access must conform to building regs and regulatory reform, fire safety order 2005. Okay,
Proposed.
Proposed by councillor Rowell, seconded by councillor Dickens. All those in favour to put this,
okay.
that's unanimous.
So the same response for both the full application and the LBC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The other two applications that we received prior to legal dispatch was 91 Weymouth Bay Avenue, 14 Littlemore Road. Would anybody like to talk on those two, or can we move them into item 6? No, so I'll propose it, seconded by councillor Taylor, that we move those two into item 6. No comment. We can now move into item 6. Which one?
councillor Orell wanted to talk about
Yeah, I was.
Weymouth Harbour, because that's
Yeah.
currently in the no comment.
Yeah. Pull that one out,
Yes,
please.
yeah, that one and the Jubilee.
And the
Oh,
Jubilee.
Jubilee.
Yeah.
If we start the Weymouth Harbour. Just bear with me, I've got to find that one. Can someone remind me of the application number for Weymouth Harbour?
05538.
It's this one now. Okay, just in case we need to look at new plans. Thank you.
The comment was just to make sure it has an enthusiastic backing of this committee. The reason for saying that is we came unstuck a few months ago with the development at South Hill, Marquesing House, which our standard response was interpreted wrongly. It was
Yeah.
interpreted as not supportive. So I want to make sure we're really clear that we're supporting this, because it's vital for flood defence and for the economic development of the town. So
Okay.
this has, so the wording is, this has the total and enthusiastic support of Weymouth Town Council,
So it's vital for flood defence and
economic development.
economic development of the town.
And the town council fully support it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. I was, because I looked at this and I couldn't see any reason why we wouldn't support it. But the reason we're discussing it now is to show our enthusiasm for it,
Yeah.
rather than just,
So we have the proposal from councillor Rowell, seconded by councillor Clifford. Do you just want to read it out just to be on the safe side?
So are we going to, Weymouth Town Council, are we going to enthusiastically support or fully support?
Enthusiastic.
Okay, Weymouth Town Council
That's some more
enthusiastically
enthusiasm in
support
there.
this application, which is vital for the flood defence and the economic development of the town.
All those in favour? That's unanimous again, I think. Now we move on to
The still lighting,
Jubilee.
Jubilee, yeah,
Jubilee Unit 4, Jubilee Retail Park.
yes,
We had a presentation at 6 o'clock from
Adrian Fox,
who came in and explained what the application's for. They want to move out of the site next to
Alfred.
Halford and move the Sports Direct into the old Currys. And that's basically, and they want to put a mezzanine in as well. And he give us a quick breakdown of that. And again, should we use your terminology, John? The nice thing about that, they anticipate a 35% increase in staff. So it's jobs, which was very, very useful. So we could propose that we fully support this.
yeah, enthusiastically.
Fully.
Fully support this application as it secures jobs.
Yeah.
For Weymouth people. And economic development, I think is the terminology nowadays. So I'll propose that. Councillor Rowell will second it. All those in favour? It's unanimous. So would anybody else like to talk about any of the items in item 6? No, in that case, for all the rest, Nikki, we'll send our standard response.
Yeah, if I could propose and
Yeah.
second that, please.
Well, I'll propose it. Councillor Taylor will second it.
Yeah. And show of hands.
Well, a show of hands, all those in favour?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We can move on to item 7. There is none, so we can move now down to item 8, which is trees. Would anybody like to raise anything on those tree items? Members are asked to note these.
Sorry, Chair, just to confirm, item 7 was trees, item 8 is planning application.
Yeah, but they put the trees in it as well in
Right,
to item 8.
thank you for that clarification.
Yeah. So would anybody like to talk about that? No? We can then move forward into item 9. There are 3 licensing related applications to be considered. The first one is the sex establishment renewal application for Wiggle, 33 New Street. Would anybody like to talk on this? I know it's in your patch.
I'll say it is my ward, although we might not necessarily welcome these things in the town, from the point of view as a ward councillor, it hasn't caused any complaints, it seems to be run well. I get no feedback from people, so I propose we do.
So do we have to,
Yes,
yeah, so we just have no comment or
no objection.
no objection?
No objection.
No objection. Proposed by councillor Ralph, seconded by councillor Dickin.
Sorry, Chair, can I just say for the point of clarity, because
Yeah.
I'm sure this one will hit the press. How bizarre it looks that a committee of men are deciding this. And can I just reassure that I've had no complaints from any of my group at all on this,
No,
which is made up of a fair demographic of people. So nor have any of my residents complained. I just want to put the record straight because I know how it may be conceived out in the public.
Good point.
So all those in favour of the proposal? And that is unanimous again. We come to the next one, which is premises review application of Weymouth Tandoori. This has been brought forward by Dorset Police, who have something to do with illegal people working in it. And if you read through it, I don't know exactly, because we're not privy to the full, I don't know really how to reply to this.
Yeah, say we got full confidence in police, full support.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's going to actually destroy this person's
Yeah.
livelihood.
councillor
Yeah,
Wright?
my point is similar to the Wiggle, if the four licensing objectives, I haven't had any complaints from my residents or anyone that it's breaching the four licensing conditions. It's not causing antisocial behaviour, it's not causing noise disturbance, affecting children. So,
I think the police brought it under public safety.
okay, well,
Councillor Dickin.
How does it affect public safety, immigration? Status of people working there, how does that affect public safety?
They don't know who they are. And they're employing illegal immigrants, I presume. I don't know. So that's
I mean,
why
that's what
I'm,
it looks like,
Yeah.
reading the
Police
report
letter.
from the police.
councillor Hope.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think it's unfair to make such accusations in a public meeting without the facts. So I think that should be disregarded from record that we are claiming that they are employing illegal immigrants. We don't have that information.
I didn't say that, I said
Illegal people,
illegal people, it's alleged.
alleged.
If it's ongoing, we can't really comment on.
No,
it.
We can comment or make that public comment really in a public meeting in the defence of a local business owner. I think without the full information, it's unfair for us to make any representation in this case, and I would propose that we make no comment.
I pretty much reiterate what councillor Hope has said, because, yeah, we haven't got any information. Who will be doing this review? We can't do a review. We haven't got any information to do a review with.
Yeah.
So all we can do is.
All we can do is go off what the police have said.
Yeah.
And they've made allegations.
Yeah.
I haven't said that the illegals with me. I don't think the committee has said that. Councillor,
Shall we note the concerns raised by the police and support an investigation?
well, we've had a proposal. And seconded, so would you like to repeat the proposal? So that
My
everybody's
comment
certain?
is that we make no comment without the full information.
Did you get that one? It's proposed by councillor, seconded by councillor Young. All those in favour? Any, no. And one no.
One no, one against.
One against. Well, no.
I was abstaining, by the way.
Oh, sorry?
I was abstaining.
Oh, right. One abstention. We then come to an application of vary a premises license from caffeine. Would anybody like to comment on this one?
Very good.
Well, what the variation they're making is they want to,
Do you want me to?
yeah,
Okay, so they want a variation of conditions 13 and 27 of their premises licence. The current premises licence states that condition 13, at least one SIA registered door supervisor will be available from 10 PM on each floor when licensable activities are taking place on that floor. There shall be a minimum of 2 SIA registered door supervisors on duty each Friday, Saturday and New Year's Eve from 10 PM until close and the last customers have dispersed. Condition 27 currently states from 10 PM daily, the outside area will be used only by those temporarily leaving the premises for the purposes of smoking. The variation they wish to make is that for both conditions, it moves to 11 PM. So the SIA door supervisors will be on from 11 PM. And that from 11 PM daily, the outside area will be used only for those temporarily leaving the premises for the purposes of smoking. So rather than starting those things at 10 PM, they want to move it to 11 PM.
any comments? Committee?
Sure, what, John?
Sure, Ward, John.
I do get some resident feedback from these establishments about people making a lot of noise. Probably just enjoying themselves, but once they've had a few drinks, they probably don't appreciate how loud they are. It's probably how it's run. If they're just going out for a smoke, that's one thing. If they go out for a smoke with a drink and their mates all with drinks, then it's going to be noisy. So it's if they're going to operate later, they need to probably keep the drinks inside the bar and just go out for a smoke. Otherwise, it becomes quite a noisy area which disturbs residents.
Councillor Faulkner.
I don't know the answer to this. How does this differ from a pub? Where people go outside, smoke, take their drinks? The times will be the same. I'm assuming this licence is more restrictive. But
The main difference is they want to do it from 11 o'clock.
no, I get that. But the pub will be 11 o'clock.
Don't know, depends what's on their licence. Councillor Home.
Thank you very much. I think, in principle, I understand the concerns there, but I think looking at neighbouring premises is that pretty much until close, some of those premises on the seafront allow you to go outside with a drink and a cigarette, or just outside for as late as possible. I don't see how an extra hour in the instant of this business is going to vary or impact when you've got other premises neighbouring it that are out all night. The other thing is obviously looking at the SIA request. They've obviously reviewed the customer footfall through the business, and realistically, they've probably said that they don't need that level of cover. to look at, they could reduce it for an hour down to those things. So if the business is impacted their safety risk assessment and basically says they don't feel the requirement to have the additional SIA in place for the hour, then I think it's only an hour, it should be fine, and their business risk assessment would cover that. And I don't see an issue with the additional hour. At this time of year, no one wants to sit outside with a drink anyway. It's only later into the summer evenings where people sit outside. But again, it's the way it's going. People don't go out late hours in the mornings very often no more. The nightclub scene in Weymouth has drastically reduced over the years. When I used to go out when I was 18, and now it is more about that social drinking earlier in the evening, sitting out, cocktail bars, and it's going to support business be sustainable. I don't have too much of an issue.
No, good point. I'll withdraw mine.
I'm happy to propose this, but I would quite like to take on John's comment there and absolutely like to approve this. And independently, we'll ask the management to remember that there are neighbours living by and ask the sign to be put up by like the noise, keep the noise down, as you see in so many places.
Right, so, reminded to approve, but independently. Can you just repeat what you said, please, Councillor?
Ask the cafe management to put up appropriate signage to keep the noise down at night, or keep the noise down outside at night. Be respectful of the neighbours, isn't it?
Yeah, that makes sense. Some of the pubs around the harbour, we've put in a kind of 10 o'clock to stop using the outside tables for that reason. So it's kind of similar.
Okay,
So we've got that.
yeah,
So we have a proposal by councillor Clifford. Would you like, seconded by councillor Arran?
Yeah.
You just want to check what the proposal is, guys, so that we're certain?
so we can't approve because we're not
No.
the deciding people, so we have no objection. But independently ask cafe management to put up signage to ask that the noise is kept down at midnight.
Okay, yeah, I'm happy, yeah. All those in favour? Any against? Any abstentions? No. No, that was unanimous.
Two.
Cafe one. Item 10, setting out licenses, we have none. Other development consultees. On this item, we just asked to consider the application and whether there is any evidence that they're aware of that the claimed use for the development has existed or not existed for a period of time. That should be submitted to Dorset Council.
Yeah, so this isn't a planning application in traditional terms. We're being asked, do we have any evidence that the premises is being used or has been used as described for the last however many years?
Would anybody like to comment on this one?
If we have no comments, then we just don't make any comments,
Yeah.
because we have no evidence.
No.
Okay,
So we can now move on to item 12, which has been done. Item 13, we don't have any. Item 14 is information items. Would anybody like to bring up anything on Ewell Street or West Hill Road? No. We don't have a neighbourhood planning update.
Yes, we do.
Eh?
I'm afraid you do.
Item 15.
Nice try, Pete.
Okay. I've got a short one. I'll try and David Norton sent me one. I'll try and find it.
can you ping it across to me, please?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because Nikki hasn't got it. So if we don't get it, we don't know it's coming up.
that's true. It only came to me
Yeah.
an hour or so ago. The problem at the time, I didn't think I was coming to the committee, so I've deleted it. And now I find I'm coming to the committee and I can't find it.
All right, John.
Yeah. I'll give you the gist of it. I'll give you the exact wordings. later.
So, well, if you give it to Nikki.
The gist of it was that the full council had made its determination last time the submission has been worked up, tidied up, and will be submitted to Dorset Council, who will then take over the process. The Labour Plan group had recognised that the housing policy was not adopted and recommended, but asked Dorset Council to come up with its own allocations policy for housing. That was it.
You will.
I'll
pick-
get you the
yeah.
formal wording.
Thank you.
Would anybody like to comment at all on it? In that case, we don't have any rooms, yeah.
We do.
No?
We do, yes, we do. So there is a planning application for Sandsford Place, number 76 and 78, Rylands Lane, Weymouth. The reason this is an emergency item is that it came in shortly after the agenda was published. Therefore, it's not on the agenda. I contacted the planning officer asking for an extension so that we could consider it next time on the 14th of January. Unfortunately, that extension could not be granted. So I thought, rather
No,
than
yeah.
email it round, we can bring it here as an emergency
Right,
item.
yeah.
So, and I think I sent round an email just
Yeah.
asking everyone to have a look. Get the description of the. Replace timber windows and doors with white UPVC units. You should imagine that. Nothing's going to change. So these are some flats on Rylands Lane. So you're literally replacing the timber units. Proposed up just to check there's no.
Councillor Dickey.
I read that, you said they've got wooden window frames and doors that are rotting because the sea air is particularly exposed at that point in Rylands Avenue. If they've got rotting wooden doors, it makes absolute sense to change them to something that might last a fraction longer. It's hardly going to make much difference to the look of the place and affect anyone. I mean, I think really we should just sail that through, really.
Councillor Rao.
Similarly, I completely agree. Amplify the reasons, it's also better environmentally, although it's plastic, which I don't particularly like.
Lasts longer.
It'll last a lot longer.
Keeps the heat better.
Yeah, it's much better for insulation, so got the carbon footprint of the buildings. So, and the modern UPVC looks exactly the same as wood for this.
Exactly.
So I totally support that.
That's something that walks around saying, what a shame they've got PVC windows in there, they've got rid of the old wood ones. What's the rest of the building? I don't know the building. What's the rest of, is it wood or is it PVC?
At the moment, the whole building is wooden windows and doors. And it's a fairly modern looking building, so it's not like we're taking a grade 2 listed building, turfing out the wood and putting it in plastic. This is a building that would thoroughly support plastic windows, I'm afraid. And it's in, as I say, it's in a very exposed position where it
And I'm
is.
assuming that when they refer to 78 Rylands Lane,
It's the one
that
right
is
at the
that
very
is the
top.
whole building, so you'll have like flats 1 to
Yes,
10,
there's
78
two blocks
Rylands
of
Lane.
flat,
Yeah,
one block. of
yeah,
10,
so
one
it
block
sounds
of
very
flat.
much like they're looking to replace.
Well, we've always supported this in previously, because it's better for.
Can I ask, what colour are these wooden windows at the moment? The
White.
only issue, they are white, so yeah, I couldn't see any issue with this, you know, the only issue I could see was what colour they are at the moment. But even if they were brown and they're being changed to white, I can't see that's
It's
really.
pretty much like for
Track
like.
from the building anyway, so I can see no, I've got no objection to this.
Yeah, or we can just state that we have
No
no,
objection.
Yeah.
if that's what,
Yeah.
yeah.
So would you like to?
Yeah, I'll
Be
be
proposing, seconded by councillor Rao. So the proposal is that we have no objection. All those in favour? Any against? One against. . Thank you, and that brings us to, as far as I know, the close of the meeting.
Thank you.
Just read what it says here, please remind members to leave promptly as officers will be locking the building as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Let me just stop the live stream.